Alright everyone, welcome back to the Rugby League History channel. Tonight I'm going to be reviewing the Parramatta against South Sydney match, round 16 of the 2020 season. If you're new to the channel or you've just clicked on the video, I review all the Parramatta games, win, lose or draw. I've been doing it since the start of the year and I'm going to continue all the way to the end. Tonight's game, as we know, finished 38-0. South Sydney beat us 38-0 at the Western Sydney Stadium, Bankwest Stadium. We didn't play well at all. I think nobody from the Parramatta team played well tonight. I don't think any of the Parramatta players really wanted to be out there tonight. I think some of the body language was very poor. I also noticed that with some of the players that they were laughing and joking after the game, and I saw Keen Evans when we were down, I think 28-0. He was laughing and joking with someone from the South player in the scrum. So right from all that, then I could see that the Parramatta players didn't want to be there tonight. The effort wasn't there. Once again, we started off the same way we did last week, where we get into an attacking position and then we just lack the patience. We drop the ball, we do something daft, and then the other team goes down the other end of the field and then they just put through a routine play. And that was one of the big things tonight that I noticed, was all it takes to score a try against us over the last, you could see, 6 to 8 weeks is you just pass the ball, do a couple of hit-ups, and then you go either left or right, especially to the right hand side of the field where Wonga Blake and Ferguson are. Do a couple of passes like a training drill. Wonga Blake will come sprinting out of the line like a fucking madman. It'll put Ferguson under all sorts of pressure and you just get around him and score. And they did that, I think, on Wonga Blake's side of the field 3 to 4 times tonight. And then on the other side of the field where you had Michael Jennings and Sivo, I think Sivo doesn't do Jennings any favours when he comes fucking rushing out of the line. I don't know what they do at training. I don't know if the players get along or they talk to each other, but surely when they're doing the training drill, someone would pull Sivo or Wonga Blake aside and say, do you notice that you rush out of defence quite often and it leaves everyone else disjointed and you can see in tries for the club? Nobody, I don't know what they do at training if they address that. The first half of the game wasn't pretty to watch at all. Like it culminated in we put up a kick. Latrell Mitchell watched it bounce for some reason. It went into the in goal. Now you'd think, okay, there's a whole line of Parramatta players running at Mitchell. He gets around all of us. It was like someone off the Benny Hill show, and then he's bumping away people, and then they almost score down the other end of the field. That reminded me of watching Parramatta in the years when they come last on the table, just really shambolic defending. 22-0 at half time. Second half, we went out there. It was kind of more of the same. First hit up that we did, we threw the ball back by an offload, and Reid Marnie, I think he must have been watching someone in the crowd, like, because he was looking that way and then the ball hit his hand and then he went knock on and he went, huh? Oh, yeah, I guess I knocked it on, like, didn't I? And then I think one of the turning points in the match, if you could call it a turning point, was 22-0. There was a very, very slim hope that Parramatta could get back in the game, maybe a 1 or 2% hope. And Dylan Brown scored a try and Latrell Mitchell did a hamstring. Now Latrell Mitchell went off, they went, we're going to check for the video, we're going to give it a try. And then they looked at the video and they went, sorry, no try obstruction. It was a fucking try. It was a fucking try, I'm telling you, because Dylan Brown runs through the line, and what had happened is Tavita Totola from South knew that he wasn't going to get to Dylan Brown, so Clint Gutherson was stood there, and he's pushed Clint Gutherson into that defensive hole, and that was deemed to be the obstruction, because they went, Clint Gutherson has impeded Tavita Totola from making the tackle, and I went, he didn't fucking impede Dylan to getting to Dylan Brown. He fucking pushed Clint Gutherson in the back into the defensive line. Now, for all the other clubs and all the other teams watching at home, they'd go, fuck, I didn't know he could do that, like. I didn't know that if we couldn't make a tackle, he just pushed someone into the defensive hole and it's an obstruction. The next set, South scored off that, and I went, fuck, that's it. Like, there's no chance of coming back into this game whatsoever. Then there was also another try towards the end of the game, which I thought was a try, was ruled another obstruction. Sean Lean passes the ball to Mattison. Now, there's no way that he can kind of stop and get out of the road. And Totola has a couple of grabs at Mattison, and Mattison just powers his way over the line. I mean, he was only about a metre out. Totola's going like this, trying to grab him, and Mattison puts the ball down. And then they go, oh, sorry, we're going to look at the obstruction again. Yes, Sean Lean's impeded Mark Nichols' chance of getting to to bloody Ryan Mattison. And I'm going, even if Nichols was there, are you really going to stop a rampage and Ryan Mattison 50 centimetres out from the line? Especially when Totola's had 2 fucking grabs at him. I fucking doubt it. There's no way in the fucking world that Nichols would have stopped Mattison. So I think that was a very harsh call. Then we also had another call where, once again, it was going to go South's way, but Sivo had the presence of mind to challenge it. Both players went for the ball. Paolo was going for the ball. Sivo was going for the ball. Paolo knocks it on, but they said that initially Sivo had taken out the jumper, and I'm going, no, he fucking didn't. They both went for the ball. Luckily, we had that overturned. And then in the first half, there was also 2 inconsistent calls. Reid Marnie did a tackle where he lifted someone over the horizontal and then he went clear on. And then on the last tackle, Regan Campbell-Gillard, or maybe it was the 4th tackle, Regan Campbell-Gillard does the same tackle. And they go, oh, penalty, dangerous tackle. And I went, that was the same fucking tackle. That penalty, the next set, South Sydney scored a try off that as well. Now, some people might go, oh, well, you're carrying on about this when Parramatta played really shite, but, you know, these calls didn't help the cause. When you're playing shite and you're getting calls like this, it's not good. So, in the end, this is by far our worst game of the year. Worst game of the year. Probably in the top 3 worst games we've played in the last 2 years. We just never really looked like we wanted to be there tonight. The thing with South Sydney is, after last week against Manly, everyone was kind of thinking, did Manly play really poorly or was South really good? And tonight, it's coming out of this game, it's the same question for South, is did we play really, really shite and make South look really good, or were South really good? Because next week they play Melbourne, and that's going to be the real test for them. As for us, we play Auckland next week, or New Zealand, whatever you want to call them. They have a good record against us. I can tell you, if Brad Arthur picks exactly the same team as he did this week, we won't be winning. Changes have to be made. I think Brad Arthur's going to have to sit down Wonga Blake and a couple of other players and say, look, you're going to have to spend some time out, because some of the stuff that you've done tonight and previous weeks, it's really let the team down. You're going to have to go away and you're going to have to think about that. Because I think Brad Arthur has to, at least at the very minimum, drop Wonga Blake. He has to go for at least 1 or 2 weeks. And maybe they can bring in that Hayes Dunster. Maybe they could put someone into the centre and bring in that Hayes Dunster. I know he hasn't played first grade yet, but when you lose like that, you have to make changes. The thing as well with rugby league, as I said before, the NRL's a long season, and a week's a long time in rugby league as well. I've seen plenty of seasons gone by where teams get the red line, the red marker put through them too early. They play a couple of shite games. People go, oh, they're not going to win the Premiership this year. They're fucked. And then they turn it around. Are Parramatta going to turn it around? I'm not too sure. Maybe they might play shite for the rest of the season, and when the finals come out, they might turn it around. Who knows? I've seen that happen before, especially at Cronulla in 2016. Played shite for about 4 or 5 weeks before the finals, and then they hit another level, just come out of nowhere. I think especially tonight as well, even if we would have lost by 1 or 2 points, you'd still have the fucking keyboard warriors and all these fucking arseholes on Facebook and all that coming out saying #pretenders. That seems to be a big one at the moment. Hashtag pretenders and parapathetic and all this fucking keeper. I mean, I think these people, it must be like the highlight of their week. They got better to do, so they wait until Parramatta lose a game and then they're straight on there fucking just giving it to us. And there's people for every team. I notice that whenever Eastern Suburbs lose, it's always the same fucking arseholes going on there and typing and seeing all their fucking shite. Like 2 weeks ago, they said Eastern Suburbs are pretenders, are not going to do the three-peat. They lost to a half-strength Melbourne team. And then they come out last week and smashed West and everyone shuts up. So I've noticed ever since the season started with Parramatta, we won the first game, we won the second game, and everyone's going, you're going to cave in, you're going to choke, and then we won the third game. Oh, we got lucky, you're going to choke next week, and then we won the next game. Oh, you're going to choke eventually, you're going to fucking choke eventually. And then when we finally lost the game, I think it was against East, everyone went, fucking meltdown and fucking pretenders, cunts, fucking arseholes, all that keeper. So that's my review of the Parramatta v South game for tonight. I'm sorry for all the swearing and that, but I mean, I guess you have a kind of a license to swear after a game like that. But anyway, I apologise if I've offended anyone with me swearing. I know not everyone's big on the swearing. If you like the video, then click that like button, and if you're enjoying the content and all the stuff I'm doing, the other series I'm doing, go check those out. And if you're enjoying them, subscribe to the channel. I'm getting close to 200 subscribers, which I think is a massive achievement considering the technology and what I've got at my disposal. So anyways, that's my review, and I'm going to get out of here and I'll be releasing another video very soon. Alright, tatty bye.